Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce week 7 to you, which is July the 7th through the July the 13th. We're looking at the imperfect tense. We're reviewing and doing some writing. You're going to want to study pages 254 to 257 and 266 to 270, and also review pages 186 to 187, 198 to 199, and 202 to 207 in your text. This week, you're going to, after you complete this week's work, you should be able to use the preterite tense to write a cohesive paragraph of no fewer than 8 sentences. The paragraph needs to describe your schedules for the day, like your morning activity, your class schedule, your work schedule, where you went, with whom, as well as you need to describe what meals you ate and or prepared. After completing this week's activities, you should be able to talk about what used to happen and what you used to do in the past. You should be able to describe a scene in the past. You should be able to contrast what happened in the past with something else that was going on. You should also be able to use food vocabulary and pronunciation rules to answer the following questions. ¿A ti y a tu familia les gusta comer en restaurantes? ¿Te apetece tomar café después de comer? ¿Te molestan los meseros impacientes? ¿Qué le dices a un buen mesero? ¿Qué le das a un buen mesero? Um, this week's assignments address student learning outcomes 1, 2, 3, and 5. And all of the assignments are due by the end of the day, the 11th. So you want to start this week like you do all others by looking at your instructor-made videos. There are videos on Chapter 7's vocabulary and the imperfect tense. After you've watched each video, come back out to the site, click on the class participation form, click on the thread, and post any question and hit reply and post any questions or concerns you have about the material covered in the video. And if you don't have any questions or concerns, then you need to post that, but you do have to post something. It is an assignment that is graded. Writing assignment 2, you're going to open up the assignment below. You're going to follow the directions and upload a paragraph about what you did yesterday. You're going to write a cohesive paragraph of no fewer than 8 sentences and be as detailed as possible. Be sure to include the following information: your schedule for the day, your morning activity, class schedule, work schedule, where you went, with whom, what meals you ate or prepared. Um, Next week, you're going to see this workshop again. You're going to open it up and you'll see someone else's draft, and you're going to give them feedback as well as I will give you feedback. So this is what it looks like inside. Okay, sorry, I had it closed. This is what it'll look like inside. You'll hit start preparing your submission when you're ready, and then you'll write what you plan to say there and hit save changes. Let me go back. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So then you also have oral dialogue 3 preparation. So you were doing it the week before. You should see something that looks like this. This is oral dialogue 3, which will be right here. It will be the script of a fellow classmate. So you'll go through the script and give them feedback, as well as I will also give you feedback. You also have assignment 9 this week. We're going to go into my language labs. You're going to click on the alarm clock and complete these SAM and extra practice activities. Remember, it looks like this. You just go out here. I don't know if I'm in student view or not. Yeah. And you'll just click on the course calendar up at the top. I'm doing this video in June, so I'm going to toggle over to July. And I'm just going to click on the 11th. Pop up in the middle. You can open them up and do them as many times as you would like to get the best grade possible. But if you're doing them more than 3 times, I suggest reaching out to me. And the last thing you're going to have to do is so you have quite a bit of writing because you have your last essay, but I wanted to workshop the essay on the final exam. So unfortunately, you have to write 2 things this week. So if you open up the final exam preparation, it just kind of walks you through what your essay is going to look like on the final exam. We're going to workshop it. So you'll go through and you'll write your draft. Then you're going to get feedback the next week. And then you're going to take that feedback and write the essay. And you're going to put it into the final exam. It says, una reseña de un restaurante. Vas a escribir una reseña de un restaurante que conoces bien. Incluye detalles para ayudar a otros a decidir si deben ir a este restaurante o no. So you're just basically giving like a review of a restaurant. And so it just gives you, this tells you some of the details you'd want to include, like dónde está, sus horas, su especialidad, el número de estrellas que tiene, el costo de la comida, la calidad. And they're using tenedor instead of like económico. 5 tenedores es caro. So if you say it's un tenedor, you're saying it's very inexpensive. la calidad de la comida y el servicio. So does it have good service, good food? Tu recomendación. And then it gives you a model to get started, like El Café Joe's as un lugar informal en Champaign, cerca de la universidad. So it just kind of gives you a sense of how to go from there. Um, and then it just gives you some things to think about. Um, okay, so when you're ready, you'll hit start preparing your submission and you'll write your draft. And then, like I said, next week you'll see it again. You'll be critiquing someone else's draft as well as I'm going to go through and critique everybody's. And then you'll use that final feedback to put this essay into the final exam. And that's everything you have to do for week 7.